You guys can hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, round two, a second program of the Gabb, which is a new program that we will have on YouTube, Zoom. We're doing now, as well as Facebook and Instagram, meeting with great chefs and people from around the city with everything happening, and really just trying to tell you all what is going on in the state of this quarantine, which I call a nightmare. Ty, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Thach Tran. I'm the executive chef at Ace Eat Serve, part of the Secret Sauce family that owns Steuben's, Ace, and Vesta.
Juan?
Juan Padro, culinary creative in Tap and Burger concepts, and we've got a number of restaurants around Denver and one in New Orleans.
Joey?
I'm Joey. I'm Gabby's grandson, and I'm here for technical assistance.
And you're just helping to get the whole thing together before you leave us and go back to Missouri. Okay, let's start briefly with Todd in case you do have to go. Ace Eat Serve will be reopening soon, or what?
Yeah, we're excited to be opening soon, next Wednesday, the 27th, and just for a very just pick up and to go only. We're allowed in the restaurant, and, just pick up windows. We get plexiglass and very limited menu, which is bringing back the very popular.
Where's the plexiglass?
Plexiglass will be the pickup window, just so.
Oh, okay. You're not putting it throughout the restaurant.
No, not throughout the restaurant. We're only opening the patio garage door for the bar and turn that into a to-go pickup.
Okay, and you wanted to tell us so that people might be aware with the restaurants about to reopen about a disinfectant that you are using.
Yeah, so I started a disinfectant company on the side of my personal business. I was actually doing the research already to disinfect our own restaurants. And so we brought in these safe chemicals, super effective, take 10 minutes, and spray down the restaurant. It kills everything, coronavirus, the flu, all kinds of HIV and remnants, viricide, viruses.
Okay, my question on this, you do an overall, I assume it's a franchise for a company. Right? Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what was
Are you part of a company, another company?
Yes, it's my personal company.
Something is feedback, terrible. Okay. All right. With that, you sell them the first round and they come in and they clean your restaurant. After that, do you sell like to Juan a bottle of something that they can use to spray when they wish?
We are. We're working with a chemical company to create a branding of a bottle so restaurants can have it. We've actually already have the label to roll out next week.
Okay, so people can just buy it to use as will.
Absolutely. And the great thing about disinfectant is that it's you don't have to wipe down afterwards. Spraying on cutting boards, you would have to wipe it down, but you can spray it on tables and doors, and you can leave it, and it stays effective. With glass peroxide, those kind of stuff, you have to wipe it down because it's ammonia.
I mean, until the next person comes.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it would be illegal, right, Juan? Juan?
To not wipe it down, yeah.
Every time, you have to.
Yeah.
Who's got something with feedback?
I think that's just because we're in the same house.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right, Juan, let's talk about, hi. Let's talk about you. You've been very active. Well, you're always very active, but let's start with how many restaurants, what you're doing. I think Steuben's is doing some cooking for charities and for workers, but you started right away, Juan.
Yeah, well, first before I even get going into that, the Steubens group with Ace and the 2 Steubens and the food truck and everything like that is without a doubt one of the groups I respect most in town. And I always follow Josh and I love what you guys are doing. It's no surprise that he's got a good young chef that's innovative like he is. So I think it's an amazing thing, and I think that group deserves a ton of credit and should definitely be talked about. As one of the groups that's doing really good things for their community. So
always does, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our group is, we've got 8 restaurants in Denver, and we have the 3 Tap Burgers, Marin, Ashkara, and then we have Senor Bear, which has his little brother, Mr. Oso, and we have Bardo, whose sister restaurant is Sophia in New Orleans.
And
so
you're missing something. Jabroni.
Oh, yeah. We launched it. We launched a sandwich shop during this whole thing, believe it or not, called Jabroni and Sons, and that's been actually our busiest opening that we've ever done in our lives, and which has been crazy.
Could I interject and say for good reason?
Sure. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand it, but I'm certainly grateful for it, and I think that we're sold out. 2 weeks in advance on these things right now, so it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
You're probably hearing an echo
Okay, and it is just what, 6 or 7 sandwiches a day?
Yeah, it's Italian sandwiches, Philly style, Philly style Jersey, and a bunch of us are from the Northeast, and like everything else we do, we kind of just open stuff that we like and that we miss, and these are just really cool sesame rolls, and so we've got a really good, what's really been crazy is the steak and cheese. People are going nuts for that, and then the Italian pork with Rob has been super popular, but I mean they're all selling out. So we have crab chips and Cooper Whiz, which if you're from the Philly area, you'll certainly understand what that's all about. And when we consulted on the main shack opening, one of the things we learned was that people from certain parts of the country, I mean, they get nostalgic about certain things, and so lobster rolls was one of those things, and Italian sandwiches are another one of those things. Most of the sandwich shops in Denver, sort of craft sandwich shops, and with the exception of Josh Pollock does a really good job at Lou's, but there's really not that many Italian sandwich places. So.
I totally agree. Now to both of you, and Thach, I want to know, when you start pickup, what items are you going to put on with the shortened menu?
We're focusing on a couple items that travel as well, so we're bringing the items as well. So we're doing sticker, we're doing the kimchi rice, a couple of noodle dishes, and we're also working on a lot of kits to where people can make their own or something at home.
That seems to be getting popular,
yeah.
Except for somebody like me who doesn't like to even make it.
Right. Taking bakes and things like that. Yeah, for sure.
Have you done that?
I call it the lasagna model. Like anything that you can liken to lasagna, where you can take and throw in the oven and not really have to do a ton of the work, I think is a good model.
My model is open it up and eat it. But
that's a good one too.
Josh did write me and say that you would be opening your restaurants for pickup and delivery, but none in when this ban is lifted right away.
Right. I mean, we're a little hesitant still, just with all the regulations. Still, and we're such a big space, and I think.
Okay, Juan, tell me all your plans with all your places. And that's
we're going to open.
And that's about an hour.
I'll summarize. We're going to open for sure. I think our mentality is we've got plenty of outdoor space where we can do some modifications, and this is not an ideal situation, and it's going to be a process. And I certainly do not envy the mayor and the governor for the job that they have to do and try to protect the public. But I think our philosophy, it really comes down to jobs and our people and our community. And I think that the more jobs we can create, the healthier our kids are going to be. I think restaurants are a really big part of the healing process whenever you go through any sort of, crisis situation. And I think, for us, we view it as a responsibility for our group in particular, especially with where we're located, to be open and to be serving our community and to just be adding to some positivity to the community as well. So, and there's different ways of doing that. Our way is not the only way. And each individual restaurant, one of the reasons why they're so special is because they're all very unique in their own way. And the uniqueness is not just in the food; it's in their culture. And like I said, I mean, there's a handful of people that really do things the right way, and that's not necessarily the right way for me.
Okay, well, tell us what you are doing.
So we have a lot of meetings over the weekend to kind of decide exactly how we're going to roll this out, but everybody's open right now. Everybody's doing takeout and delivery. Marin's open for nonprofit, but everything else, but it's always been open for nonprofit. It's a high end. Everything else is, we're pretty well staffed up, and we've got 65-70% of our folks working. And
really, you have had the whole time?
Yeah, once we got our PPP funding, we brought a lot of people back, and we put a program in place. My thought was, if I'm looking at this situation holistically, the reality is, not everybody's going to come back. There's not going to be that many jobs. We have to be very honest about that. But what we can do while we have the PPP money is we can invest that money in people so that they're the most prepared when this thing ends to go out and get work if it's not with us. So we put a whole university together for them, and they have hospitality training once a week. They have product training once a week. They have study halls. They have Zoom calls. They have this whole education system. So even if we don't have a job for them, we feel like we're preparing them to go out and get hired with groups that are really awesome.
So that's saving you a lot of the issue that some of us have, not me, speaking about, that when you have closed down and you go to rehire the staff, are you going to get them back?
Yeah, we haven't had that issue. Our culture is very different. Even when times are good, we are very, very, very proactive, and we pride ourselves on our work ethic and our respect for what we do. And I think, for me, I have a personal problem with people that just want to stay home and sit on their couch and collect money from taxpayers when, the reality is they could be helping their community out. So, that's my personal opinion. And I think when you work for my group, you understand that. And, that's part of the deal when you work for us. So
I think that's an extremely respectful thing that you're doing, Juan, is using the PPP to invest in your own people, and educate them, and have an opportunity. That's extremely listening. If they're lucky enough to get the PPP grant, I think they that's extremely cool.
Yeah, and not everybody got PPP, so not everybody can do that.
Stephen, please.
And Thach, I think that, another thing that we were doing was we were allocating resources to some smaller businesses that didn't get the PPP. So we're working with a little Ethiopian restaurant, we're working with a little Burmese restaurant, some other guys, and just really trying to help them out, get their, help them with their marketing, help them with their sales, connecting with groups like Frontline Foods and stuff like that, where, we actually gave up some of our catering orders so that they can fulfill some orders and keep their doors open, because some of the small guys, they need like $500 a day to stay alive, and that's a lot to them. It's not a lot to us, and even though every dollar counts, we can survive if we give them a piece of what we're doing, and that's worked out well for us too. So we have our kids helping with that as well.
Joey, you want to jump in? Do you have a question?
Okay. I guess, I kind of asked this last week, but what are your guys' thoughts about when we will get back to this sense of new normal, and what is that going to look like?
That's a great question. Tom? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Thach.
Go on.
So new normal, I think that's constantly evolving, and I don't, it's an interesting way to look at it, Joey. For us, agility is like a really important quality to have in a business, and so we're constantly changing and adapting, and I don't know that that's changed. The circumstances have changed, but even when times are really good, whether it's increased competition or food trends or whatever, I think we're uniquely suited to, continue to be agile and make the necessary changes to survive. Our business is, it's a tough business, and we've got a bunch of tough people that are smart, that are constantly thinking about new things. So, I don't have a concrete answer as to what the new normal means, because I think it's the same. I think it's, stay focused, do what you think is right, treat your people really well, streamline your menus, keep your costs in order, like all that stuff stays the same. So I think that we need to be really like, I think that it's a little bit overreaching to say, okay, well, I'm going to completely change everything that I'm doing. Like, food is just a little piece of what we do. So if our menu changes a little bit, it changes seasonally anyways, you know what I'm saying? So, the industry is going to have some change. It's going to have 30+% of the places are going to go out of business.
Okay, well, because that's one of my questions. I think they will.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And some of them are going to go out of business because they're poorly run. Some of them are going to go out of business because they don't have good landlords and they don't have good debtors that are understanding. And some of them are going to go out of business because of the pandemic. I don't know what those numbers are, but those are challenges that everybody's going to be facing. The disease or the pandemic isn't taking your brain away. I don't think anybody's going to look at you and say, because you closed your business during post-COVID, that you don't know how to run a restaurant if you're a good operator. So I think if you're a good operator, the opportunities are going to be abundant, whether you're closing right now or not. That's a short-term problem. But long-term, you may be better, honestly, you may be better off closing some restaurants in the short term, because
I think they're right.
Yeah, better lease deals, and you're going to get better vendor deals, and you're going to get all that stuff. So, I think you got to look at, there's great balance in life, and when you think things are going downhill, I think you look a little bit to the left and you'll see, you'll see where that balance is. But people are too hyper-focused on certain things, they fail because they don't see the balance in it. And that's what you got to find. You have to look for it. It's there. It's right in front of you.
Thach, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Juan. What his restaurant doing, what he's doing is incredibly amazing. You're giving hope to the rest of the restaurant community. Your restaurants, you're helping other restaurants. And I think it's important for a strong restaurant group to see whatever, get creative and figure it out how to do it. Giving hope to our community, to diners.
Well, both of all your restaurants, Josh, have done great jobs. And Josh Walken, I've known since before Vesta even opened, when he was a baby. Juan came into my life about the day Highland Tap opened. And
Yep.
Listen, both of you, your boss, and you're a great guy too. And Juan, no matter what, I've always loved you, I always will. But Juan came in, my husband was sick, and I'll remember him lying in a hospital saying, Juan called and said he's coming to see me. He said, "Are you off your mind?" He met him once. And I think at that point, Mark was in the hospital for 2 months and you never missed a day. And
Right.
brought soup. So, and Josh has just always been there. But both of you do everything like those two stories because you're there for the community and the workers and everybody. You're not making money on any of that.
No, no, but it's not, you know, we have a responsibility, you know, to be part of the process. And, you know, you can't, I know a lot of business owners are worried about their actual physical business, but I'm telling you, you're better off focusing on what you can control. And what you can control is how you're treating people, how you're lifting them up, how you're communicating with them. You know, you can control those things, and that's what really needs to, and if we're controlling everything that's in our control, we're being positive and, you know, with the understanding of reality, right? You know, we can still have a positive impact and we can still learn and we can still grow. And you know what? You know, the life is, it's really about relationships. It's not about money or anything like that. And if you lose your business, you know, and you're a really good restaurateur and a really good chef, there's going to be another opportunity, especially if you're treating people the right way and people see that. So I'm personally not concerned about, you know, if I lose something, that sucks. But at the end of the day, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to keep pushing forward, and I'll open something else up and we'll move forward as a group. But I'm not going to focus on all the, you know, get caught up in all the negative stuff that I had literally no control over whatsoever. So.
Well, good for you. And I assume the staff every place is going to know, you know, it's going to become a joke that we will be being served by somebody in a mask with, I haven't figured out what you're going to do with the wine bottle to get it to me.
Right. Yeah. I don't think they're going to make you wear gloves. That's a really bad idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that really passes. That's actually dangerous. That actually passes, Jeremy, you know. So.
Wow.
It did pass?
No, I hope. If it'll blow my mind if that passes.
Okay, because I remember when Noel was alive, and the first round of that came when they were trying to get unauthorized people, and Noel was screaming always, dirty gloves are much worse than washing your hands all the time where you know you're clean.
100%. You know, this whole thing really, it comes down to protocol and process, right? And, you know, and if you're, you know, I know you run a great kitchen and your organization is super like diligent about cleanliness and sanitation. And, you know, obviously you are with your new company and stuff. So, you know, I have trust in your organization, so I'm going to go there. And if people don't trust the restaurant, don't go. But if restaurants are doing the right thing and their message is very clear to their employees, to their community, and to potential guests, that this is what our standard is and this is what you can expect to see, and then they deliver on that, and that's all that really needs to be done. You know, this other stuff is nonsense.
Well, it is, but I mean, this is a way out question, and I just saw my little sign came up to tell me we have 8 minutes or something. Are you going to have a form that you have to have people check? You've done all this and they have witnessed this, like when you go to the exercise class.
Right.
Yeah, like a waiver.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
I mean, if they're giving you a waiver for that stuff, then, you know, I mean, you do it when you go skiing. If they're making me do it, then great, I'll do it. But look at this.
Oh, hi, you are there.
Yeah.
Did you hear me say nice things? Did you tell them? You could say, come here, say hello. Josh. This is Josh Walk, and the other one I've known forever. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you have a 21-year-old hostess, you know, confront a 6'5" man that's been drinking beer all day in a restaurant and force them to give a phone number and sign paperwork, and, you know, they're trying to shift that liability onto the restaurants. I mean, that is the government is in the wrong if that's what they choose to do. I hope that's not what they choose to do.
Josh, you feel the same? Josh.
I missed the beginning of that, but I think I'm picking up on it. I mean, I'm not interested at all in dealing with with this part. Just looking at what's going on already in Boulder and some other places, doesn't matter what guidelines they give us. The public, they're going to do what they want, especially with a.
Yeah, look what's happened in Arizona. Have you been following that, Josh?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I'll tell everybody quickly unless Joey can make this go longer. Go ahead. Joey, can you make it go longer?
I cannot.
Josh,
Arizona, it's just like mayhem in bars or something.
Well, they opened up a few weeks ago, and everybody followed the rules week 1, and they loosened up week 2. And last weekend, the guy from Hell F.A. was telling me they did $50,000 in bottle service, and it's a party. And the kids from Denver are by the busload going down and partying in Arizona, and then coming back in Denver and hanging out on the patios and restaurants here. So,
yeah,
like you're saying, I mean, if you every state around us is open. So people are going to those places, and they're going to bars and restaurants, and they're coming back, and they're getting their to-goes and pickups here, but their exposure is pretty great. So I don't know what all this regulation is going to do. I don't know how effective that's going to be. So
it's going to be interesting. I hope the public realizes that you all are doing what you're doing and will support you, because all of you need all the support, which is why I want to do this show all the time, to have the public, when they listen to it, realize that you all are doing the right thing. Just before we run out of time, just in case, the name of the disinfectant company.
Mile High Disinfecting Service.
And how did they get you?
They can go online at milehighdS.com.
Okay, I mean, is that what you had in your hand, Josh?
I had a thermometer.
No, it's a thermometer.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, is that just commercial?
Like 2 months ago, so right when it started.
Is that just commercial disinfectant, or is that also for residential?
It's commercial. We do residential as well.
You should reach out to me, and we'll put you on the Denver Bazaar. We launched that marketplace. People will buy that.
Okay, and I had asked about it for the building I live in.
There you go.
And I gave it to our manager to call and find out, in case we have.
He's got other things to do now, all right? He's got.
You want him to cook, huh?
We're excited to get back
appreciate
to
his.
opening.
Josh, what are you complaining about? He's gonna buy you out. He's gonna buy all your restaurants when he makes all his money. You have nothing to worry about here.
No, we're excited to get back in the kitchen for sure, and opening on Wednesday with our new menu and a lot of popular items.
Okay, but Wednesday is not the official day everybody's gonna get open, right?
That's just takeout.
That's just takeout. Correct.
Yeah, I think they're gonna say the 28th.
Well, they're not telling you till Memorial Day anyway. So somebody said they'll open for Memorial Day. I said, really? He's going to tell you at 10 and you're going to open at 11 on a holiday? Yeah, great. What else are we going to do? All I can say is I, for one, just want to get back to where I can hug you and kiss you, which I did do and I wasn't supposed to. And just have us all be people again. I have not fared well by myself. For a girl who never ate home in 6 years, I hate this cooking.
Yeah.
But I drink a lot. So.
A lobster kit today.
I heard that. Is that just for today and tomorrow?
Till we run out, which it looks like we probably run out today.
I bet.
Okay.
Way to go, guys.
Lobster kits, jabroni sandwiches, and your carry out or whatever, well, pickup is what they all are. I mean, at this point. And I think if people can go and pick up, doesn't that save you a lot of money as well?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's important for people to know.
Right.
Because if you're getting delivery, you're paying.
Well, the third party delivery thing. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see how we all adjust to that moving forward. Because I think it's here to stay, and we got to figure out what's best for our industry with that. Yeah. So. The guys on Larimer Square are actually thinking of building an app for the restaurants as part of their lease terms, that they have access to this app that deliver and people can order, and there'll be delivery for the square within like a 1.5 mile radius. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, well, especially if they shut the street down.
Yeah, that's happening for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's great if they help other people and let them go to the streets as well.
Yeah, I agree.
That's another issue, but I don't know. It's one issue after another. But I know I better go. Yes, it's telling me bye-bye. To all of you, thank
See you
you.
guys.
I love you all. Thank you for spending time with me. Josh, Thach, Juan, Joey. Yay. Till he goes back.
Way to go, guys. Congrats, everybody.
Be well.
See you,
And
Thach.
listen to the Gabb. Thank you. Much love.